Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Mark Stengler, and we've been doing a series with the well-known author and Dr. William Sears, and he's the co-author of this tremendous book, The Healthy Brain Book. There's a lot of brain books out there, and as Dr. Sears and I were talking, most of the ones written by brain specialists, neurologists, most people cannot understand. So this book has the most cutting-edge science in ways people can understand and apply into their daily lives with their diet, their exercise, their stress reduction, the foods they eat, hormone balance, all the critical things. This is why I believe, without a doubt, it's the best book on brain health out there. And so, Dr. Sears, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you, Mark. I've been a pediatrician now for 50 years.
That's
and,
it?
And I have 8 children and 15 grandchildren. So after a while, you begin to think like a child, write like a child, and my wife says act like a child. So part of what I wanted to do in our book is I wanted to make it fun to read, because it's called emotional arousals is the neurological term. If you laugh, smile, or cry, when you read something, it sticks. It comes into your brain. It opens your mind. So my goal was to put a smile on the face of every reader on every page.
Yeah, and you have very interesting diagrams in there, kind of cartoon style, but reflecting what's going on medically. Very, very helpful to simplify things so people can understand. And we want to talk about this interesting section you have in the book, 4 categories of foods that the happiest and healthiest people eat. And this is based on very modern research. Tell us more about that.
Well, that was always, this is another way of studying things. All right, what do the happiest, healthiest people on earth eat? They must know something. All right, so first of all, they eat a diet, and 4 things. They eat a diet that is richest in the very nutrients the brain needs. And those are smart fats and smart antioxidants. So they eat a brain health diet. It just so happens that what they eat matches the nutrients of the brain. Secondly, it is rich in antioxidants. Now that term antioxidant is simply anti-rust. Oxidation is like metal rusting. And neuroinflammation is the root cause of almost all of our brain illnesses. We rust or we wither. We oxidize up here. And like you leave a piece of fresh fish out overnight and smell it in the morning, it oxidizes because fat oxidizes. So rich in antioxidants, and the smartest sources of antioxidants are veggies and fruits. The more colorful the fruit and the vegetable, the higher the antioxidants. This is why Dr. Mom said, put more color on your plate. And when you put more color on your plate, you put more color in your brain, more antioxidants. That makes sense. Thirdly, the healthiest people on earth don't gorge, they graze. They graze because the brain does not like spikes. The brain likes a steady supply of sugar from morning to night, a steady supply of nutrients. It doesn't like spikes because when you sugar spike, the brain gets hyper and then it goes down, it crashes. So we get hyper and then we get foggy, hyper and foggy, brain fog from sugar spikes. And fourthly, what the healthiest people on earth eat is foods that improve vascular health, blood vessel health. An important principle of the human body is every organ is only as healthy as the blood supply to it. And if your brain is like a garden, you want to irrigate the garden with more blood vessels. And it so happens that blood vessels, your brain is one of the most vascular organs. It uses about 20% of all the blood that the heart pumps, even though it weighs about 1 or 2% of our weight. So the brain's a very vascular organ. So you want to eat foods that improve vascular health. And those are foods that keep what I call sticky stuff out of the lining. Real foods that improve vascular health. So those are the things: smart fats, high in antioxidants, no spikes, and improve vascular health. The 4 categories that the smartest people on earth eat.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I was thinking, I believe the brain's the most metabolically active organ in the body, or certainly in the top. And so
Wow.
again, if you have to have the proper blood flow, like you said, and then the nutrients being delivered through the blood flow.
That's true. And as you said, metabolically active is a very important 2 words. Hypermetabolizer, the brain is. Well, it's just like an engine that runs on high speed all the time. It wears out. So if we're a hypermetabolizer, we need to eat more antioxidants to dial down the metabolism a bit. See, to neutralize all this rust that we get from hypermetabolizing. Exhaust, we call it. Exhaust is like oxidation, so we need to, just like anti-exhaust is what antioxidants are.
Right. And I remember reading this section in your book, very, very interesting. Maybe just briefly tell some of the, the areas where this research came from. I know certainly one was, of course, the Mediterranean diet,
Yes.
which has been so well studied. Tell us a bit more, maybe some of the different regions where this research came from.
Well, it came from Japan, Okinawa. I even went over there and talked to a lot of people.
Really?
Greece, I was over there seeing, and they, it's no big deal. They eat off the land. They eat local. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So Okinawa, Japan, Mediterranean, even right here, believe it or not, California, people who eat a real food diet, Loma Linda, that area,
Right.
up in
Right.
there. It's called the Blue Zones. So
Yes.
basically, these were studies done in people who just eat real food. It's not a mystery. But we Americans, show me the science, okay. But one of the things, if science and common sense don't match, I always suspect faulty science. That's why when that low-fat diet came out with the science, I thought, that doesn't make sense from a fathead. So you said, and sure enough, it turned out to be false. So I always tell my patients and savvy listeners, I think your listeners are savvy, or they wouldn't be listening, is run the science through your smart brain. And if it doesn't make sense, just sit back and wait a while, because science has a way of changing its mind if it's not solid.
Right. That's good advice. So again, this is all in the book, The Healthy Brain Book. I recommend you check that out on Amazon or other booksellers. And we have another video coming up you probably will be interested in watching, and that's the top smart supplements. People are always wondering, what supplement should I take in terms of having better memory, focus, and mood? So look for that video as well on our YouTube, americasnaturaldoctor.com. Also, don't forget Dr. Sears' website, very, very well-known website, askdrsears.com. So again, thank you, Dr. Sears.
Thank you, Dr. Mark.